Sarah Short is a writer and survivor of solitary confinement. Today she'll talk about Opening the Box, her piece of theater that aims to raise awareness around the issue in the hopes that someday the practice will be banned.
Half of the suicides occurring in prison of the United States take place in solitary confinement cells. The journalist Sarah Short was confined to a cell of this kind for 410 days in Iran. On this segment, Sarah tells us about her latest work, a theater piece that aims at going beyond artistic frontiers to contribute with the eradication of this kind of tortures inside the United States prison.
I've been gathering oral and written testimonies of people in prolonged solitary confinement in the U.S. So I've done half a dozen prison visits. I've met with people that have been in solitary for decades, and I've also engaged in in-depth letter correspondences and in-person interviews. So they'll be woven together into a book, an anthology of writing by actual survivors, and a play called Opening the Box.
It is a sad thing to watch a human being go insane before your eyes because he can't handle the pressure that the box exerts on the mind. But it is sadder still to see the spirit shaken from the soul.
The real world is out of place in the hole, but the hole is nonetheless really here. The first time I did 18 months in the hole, I saw only 3 or 4 colors. I felt only concrete and steel.
In the hole, painful memories begin to throw out shoots and sprout like brittle weeds until finally the weeds choke to death everything else in the garden. You are left with a cold wasteland of scrubby weeds, flinty stone, and dusty soil.
You know, we start using long-term solitary confinement and building prisons for that purpose around the end of the 1980s, and that was at a time when we were really kind of moving away from rehabilitation in prisons. We were taking away, funding for rehabilitative programs, and we were starting to use money to build solitary confinement cells. So it was, instead of kind of having these measures that were a lot more prolonged and geared towards rehabilitation, we just kind of locked problem people away.
Thanks to these kind of efforts, the American Federal Bureau of Prisons agreed to revise the cases of extreme solitary confinement, a very convenient measure, considering current estimates of about 350,000 prisoners with mental illness in the United States prison, most of them being in solitary confinement. This is tantamount to 10 times the number of citizens in psychiatric hospitals in the United States.
Yo soy Clara Ibarra, con Vanessa Bergonzoli, Telesur, Nueva York.